Hello students, welcome back to today's video class. From today I am going to start your new chapter number 7, hydrogen. This chapter will be in your final term, so we will start it now because we have to complete so many chapters still. Hydrogen, then water, and then air and atmosphere. I think that chapter is left. No, after hydrogen, then water, then after carbon and its compound. So today I am going to start your chapter hydrogen. This is a very familiar name to you, the hydrogen. Actually, as we go further for the history of hydrogen, hydrogen was first came to across by whom? By Robert Boyle. He performed an experiment by reacting iron filings with dilute acid. Then he found this gas. After that, Henry Cavendish identified hydrogen gas as an element. He performed an experiment in zinc, iron and tin were made to react with dilute HCl and dilute sulfuric acid also, H2SO4. This reaction produced gas. Then and he named his gas as an inflammable gas, because this gas, when comes in contact with air, it burns with a pop sound. After that, in 1783, Antoine Lavoisier named this gas hydrogen. Actually, he gave this name from the Greek word that is hydro, that means water, and genes, that means generator, means the gas which generate water. Okay, so this came to know as hydrogen after that. In the previous chapter you have also studied about the hydrogen is the first known element whose atomic number is 1, and the hydrogen have the symbol H. It has atomic number 1. It is a first known element. It has also the mass number that is 1, but sometimes hydrogen exists in more than one form, that is called isotopes. That means when hydrogen forms its isotopes, that is protium H11, then H12, then H13. So hydrogen, comes to protium, then deuterium, and this is tritium. Protium, that means it has mass number 1, atomic mass. Then deuterium, it has atomic mass 2, and tritium, it has atomic mass 3. So in this way we can see that hydrogen have its 3 isotopes. Hydrogen is a highly reactive non-metal. In nature, it exists in gaseous state as diatomic, because it does not exist independently. It always exists with 2 atoms, that is H2. Okay. After that, where the hydrogen we get? Occurrence of hydrogen. Hydrogen most abundant element on this earth, or we can say in this universe. It exists free in state, largely found in outer atmosphere, in the sun and in the stars. Its approximately small percentage is 0.00005% of hydrogen is also found in free state as a gas in outermost layer of the earth atmosphere. Since hydrogen is very highly reactive element, so mostly it's found in combined state. So in water it which covers more than 70% of Earth's surface. So we can say acid, alkalis, petroleum, natural gas all contains hydrogen in them. It is one of the main component of organic compounds such as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, hormones, chlorophyll, and obviously hemoglobin. It contains hydrogen. Hence, it is present in almost all the molecules in the living things. So ultimately we can say that hydrogen is the most abundant element on this universe, in this universe. Okay, how do we get hydrogen? So we are having hydrogen in combined state mostly, but if you want to make hydrogen, with what processes are there by which you can do get hydrogen? The best and the most easy thing example for the preparation of hydrogen, that is electrolysis of water. First of all, electrolysis of water. From this, when when electricity is passed through acidulated water, means impure water, the hydrogen and oxygen is decomposes to form hydrogen and oxygen gas. Here you can have the electrolysis process. For this electrolysis process, what we have to do, we have to take an container that is mainly called electrolytic cell. So it contains electrolytic cell. It is here we have to put the acidulated water that will act as an electrolyte. So this we call as electrolyte. Okay, this is electrolyte. Now we have to keep two electrodes over here, like this, two electrodes. After placing the two electrodes, these two electrodes we have to connect with a some electric terminal. So like this, it is a battery. One is the negative and is the positive. So since this time electrode is connected with the positive, so it is plus, and it is connected with the negative, so it is the negative. Okay. So now when you switch on the key and electricity start passing through these electrodes and circuit is completed by acidulated water. Now water will since water is a good conductor of electricity but not distilled water, so we have to take some acidulated water always, means we have to put some HCl or H2SO4 in water to make it acidulated. Then it helps electricity to pass through it very easily. Okay, so what will happen after this? When you switch on the key, what will have? Electricity will pass through it. When electricity is passed through it, means when it is connected to the positive terminal, it is called as anode. Here it will be act as anode, and it is cathode. Okay, one is anode, another is the cathode. Now what happens? And this container is called, we can write it, it is called electrolytic cell. And always we have to place this electrolytic cell on a wooden base, because electricity should not pass conduct its surrounding things. So since wood is a bad conductor of electricity, so always we can put keep this electrolytic cell on the wooden surface. Okay, so what happens actually when this electricity pass through it? So when you can electro so what happened here, you see in the it is given, when electricity is passed in the electrolytic through electrodes, the electrolytic decomposes and its constituent ions breaks. The hydrogen ion and water ions will break toward the opposite charges. Okay, so since we say that hydrogen and oxygen, so here you can use so many types of acid as I told you: HCl, H2SO4, H2SO4. You can take HNO3. You can take sodium hydroxide base also. You can take sodium chloride. Means we have to make the water ultimately impure so that it can conduct electricity. Some weak electrolytes we can take acetic acid, means CH3COOH. Ammonium hydroxide you can take NH4OH. Okay, so hence electrolytic cell is mostly conduct container, and all this experiment is conducted in a special case container, that is I told you, electrolytic cell. And two electrodes we have to take. So the conducting rods that allow electricity to pass through them, they are called electrodes. So these are the two electrodes. So usually made of inert and inactive substances. These electrodes are usually made of inreactive substances. Electrodes are always two types, anode and cathode. The positive electrode, when positive terminal of the battery is connected, that is act as an anode, and when the negative terminal of the battery is connected with the electrode, that is called cathode. Okay, so this is anode and the cathode. So what happened? The cations, which are positively charged ions, and anions, which are negatively charged ions, will conducted by opposite charges. So since anions are negative charges, it will cations, which are negative charges, which goes to the positive terminal of the electrode, and the negative, that is cathode, toward the will attract the positive charges. Okay, so we already know cations are the positive charges and anions are the negative charges. That means anions will move toward the anodes and cations will move toward the cathodes. So what are the difference between anodes and cathodes? Anodes is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Cathode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Current enters electrolyte always through anode, and current leaves the electrolyte through cathode. It will come from anode, and after connect through water, it will go to the cathode and it will leave the electrolyte through cathode. So anions such as Cl minus, CO3 mane carbonates -2, hydroxide will attracted and discharged to the anodes because they are anions, negative charges. And cations, suppose sodium, calcium, aluminium, ammonia, which have the positive charge in them, means they are cations, will attracted toward the cathode. It will depend on the electrolyte that we have chosen. Now the when electricity is passed through this acidified water or acidulated water, what will happen on passing electric current will now what happens here, this hydrogen, means this water, from water H2O, what happen, it will decompose to hydrogen plus oxygen hydroxide minus. Okay, so since hydrogen is a positive ion here, it will attracted toward the cathode, and hydroxide ions, which are the negative ions, which will attracted toward the anode. So in this way, if you place two gas jar on this above these electrodes, what happens, the gases will be decomposed from water and collected in the each gas jar. So the experiment is given in your book, how the gas jars are placed in it on above the electrodes, and gases are collected. So in this way, by the process of electrolysis, here you can separate the hydrogen and oxygen from water. Okay, so mainly we get the hydrogen will be collected at the cathode, and hydroxide ions are collected in the anodes because they are negative ions. So in this way we can do a simple experiment of electrolysis of water to get hydrogen from oxygen in a laboratory. So there are so many processes are still there in the by which we can make hydrogen gas in the laboratory. Okay. So we have seen how this so what happened. Now I will show you how this decomposition actually takes place. Simple some reactions we should follow here for the decomposition. First of all, what happened in the cathode? The hydrogen ions is a cations which moves toward the cathode, while the anions hydroxide, which are negative ions, which will attracted toward the anode. So in this reaction, what will happen? This H2 will lose 2 electrons, gain 2 electrons to form H2, okay, which is gaseous in nature. Okay, in a similar way, hydroxide, which is negative, it will gain electron, it will lose electron to become hydroxide. Okay, after this hydroxide again with decomposes to oxygen and water again. So again this hydrogen will decompose to form oxygen and water. That means on combining the half reaction taking place in this reaction, what you will see, first of all hydroxide is formed. This hydroxide, when the reaction will be completed, this hydroxide ion will again break into or decompose into oxygen and water. Water will left in this mixed with this electrolytic acid related water, and this oxygen will collected in the another jar that is placed over the anode. So in this way you can see oxygen gas and hydrogen gas, both of these are separated by the process of electrolysis in this process. Okay, so after this reaction, overall reaction comes H2O gives H2 plus hydroxide. Hence ultimately what we will get by the decomposition of water, that is H2O gives H2 plus O2. For this you have to give 2 here and to balance the equation. So ultimately this is the complete reaction of electrolysis of water, where hydrogen and oxygen are separated or decomposed from water. So it is ultimately a decomposition reaction also, where electricity is used. Now I hope you have understood this process of electrolysis of water, and it is a process of formation of hydrogen gas from water. Another process is there in your book, that is the laboratory preparation of hydrogen. Here we will have to take some metals which reacts with water acids, and we use them in the process of preparation of hydrogen gas. That we will see in in your next video class. I will show you how we have to do these experiments in the laboratory to get hydrogen gas, or for the preparation of hydrogen gas. I hope you have understood these basic things of this hydrogen gas and the first preparation of hydrogen gas in the laboratory by the process of electrolysis of water. Okay, thank you, take care, be safe, be healthy.